Hey, Bruce Naylor, you're a boomer consumer. Who says you got to spend a whole lot of money to get great sounding headphones? You don't. With the HIFIMAN HE-R9 dynamic wired or wireless headphones. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. These are really meant for somebody that doesn't have a big budget, but they still want to get great hi-fi sound. And HIFIMAN, I think, did a really good job on delivering that. Now, as a disclaimer, these were sent to me at no cost by HIFIMAN. However, all opinions are my own, and no one's reviewed the video. For more information, I have a link down in the description below. So these are wired or wireless. So you can get what's called the Blue Mini R2R, and it's a combination Bluetooth receiver, amp, and DAC all in one unit that would actually click into one of the inputs on the side of the ear cups. However, the review sample that I got did not come with that. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot. We're going to try to grow this channel as much as possible this year. And I review all kinds of hi-fi vintage, new DACs, amps, headphones, etc. Now, what do you get in the box? Well, you get the headphones themselves. You get a 3.5 millimeter cable that has two ends that connect to the ear cups. And then you also get this inside the box. It's a handy dandy little headphone stand in case you don't have one. It's made out of styrofoam. It's got some kind of plastic thing on the bottom of it. But hey, you get one in the box. It didn't cost you any extra. Now let's talk about the specs of these headphones. The first thing is these are a dynamic driver as opposed to the planar magnetics that most HIFIMAN headphones have. And HIFIMAN uses what they call a nanoparticle technology coating on the diaphragms, and that delivers a frequency response of 15 to 35 kilohertz. They also have two inputs, one on each ear cup for a 3.5 millimeter input jack for the left and the right ear cups on here. And these weigh 328 grams, which works out to about 11.5 ounces. They are very, very light headphones, and they are rated at 32 ohms. So pretty easy to drive. If you've got a mobile device with a headphone out jack, they're going to work just fine. Your tablet, your phones. I happen to use the Schiit Magni 3 headphone amplifier, and works just like a champion. They can get really, really loud. Let's talk about the overall build quality of the HE-R9s. So you get these big, massive ear cups on here. These are actually a plastic, but it's a beautiful shade of red. It's kind of a red metallic on here. And then you get the nice thick pleather wrapped headband, and that they're very, very comfortable, by the way. And then a very soft cushion. If you can get this into the focus on here a little bit, you get this nice thick cushion on here for the ear cups. Maybe kind of some kind of memory foam type of material in there. At any rate, a steel yoke on here, steel frame, and that's pretty much it. They're really not foldable or meant for putting in a bag and travel. These are for listening to music in a very, very serious way. On the bottom, you have these two inputs there, 3.5 millimeter input jacks. You can use the included cable. One goes in each side. Or you can, on the left side, you can use a 3.5 millimeter balance connection. Or you can get the Blue Mini, which is the Bluetooth receiver, DAC, and amplifier. Just plugs into the side. And then you have wireless headphones. And they're totally wireless at that point. HIFIMAN didn't send one, but I actually have one with another pair of headphones, but I didn't really get an opportunity to try that out. I use them, just plugged into various amplifiers and so forth. I think something really, really very important when you're talking about headphones is just how comfortable they are. And when I review headphones, I listen for several days, for several hours at a time, a whole variety of music. They never got uncomfortable at all, but they are rather large and bulky. They're not small headphones, folks. These are pretty doggone massive in size, but yet they're feather light. And I got the WAF, or wife approval factor, on how light they are. She was delighted how comfortable these were and how lightweight they are. And you're talking 11 and a half ounces, so you hardly notice they're even there. Okay, so how did I test these? Well, I've been using the Schiit Modi 3 DAC and then the Schiit Magni headphone amplifier, and that's connected to an iPad Pro and using Apple Music. I switched everything over to Apple Music. That's the only streaming service I'm now using is Apple Music. I'm deep in that whole Apple ecosystem anyway. I also connected it to my Marantz 2230 vintage receiver and listened to some records on that. One of my favorites is Giant Sands Tucson album. What an amazing, it almost defies description. Get a chance, give it a listen sometime. But those are my sources that I use for reviewing this headphone. Now let's talk about some of the music that I listen to with the HE-R9s. And I do listen to a wide variety of music over a week or two. But Diana Krall's Insensitive is one of my go-tos on there because there's just a breathiness and openness to that song, a spaciousness. This is just excellent for really picking up details. And I found the bass response to be very, very good with these headphones. But the vocals is where the action's at. That whole mid-range is where I think these things really excel. Just a breathiness, a spaciousness to it, a presence that really, for the price of $200, I was actually quite surprised. Highs were, I thought, a bit on the warm side on that particular track. The next one that I listened to was Dire Straits' So Far Away, and I happen to be a huge Dire Straits fan. And I thought that the bass drums had a nice kick to them, or I should say on the bass, the drums had a nice kick to them. And, you know, there was a good punchiness to the bass without seeming overwhelming. Vocals, again, very detailed, and then the highs, again, a bit warm, but not tiring. You know, it's not going to, after an hour or two, you're going to go, geez, I got to get a break from these things. No, I never ran into that with these. The next song I listened to was from an artist I'd never heard before by the name of Vienna Ting, and she is a pianist and a singer, and the song One Bedroom, One Bath. Wow. What an incredible voice. Fantastic music to audition headphones to, by the way. It's just a little bit of everything in there, but nothing overwhelming. The imaging on that track was nothing short of amazing. It's really, I hate to use the term three-dimensional, or it's, you know, where it sounds like somebody cleaned a dirty window. I'm not going to go there on that, but I'll just say that that performance was so lifelike. You felt like you were in just the front row listening to her sing. By the way, get a chance, check out Vienna Ting. Just a fantastic talent. Now, I made a list of pros and cons, and I had to take some notes on this. For the first pro, I think you're getting really good sound performance for these for the price of under $200. However, there are some cons. And that is, I think that the ear cups, they just feel kind of plasticky and kind of, yeah, I was thinking maybe they were wood or at least some type of more solid material. They're not. And I think that kind of detracts from these a little bit. Another pro is because they are lightweight. I got that wife approval factor. In other words, comfort is what we're really talking about when we talk about the weight of these things. You can wear these for hours and hours and hours. They don't get real hot on the ear, which that's something that drives me crazy on some headphones. But they're also just not fatiguing to hang on to, you know, and listen to for a long period of time. However, for another con, they're bulky. I mean, these things are massive, okay? And that may not appeal to a lot of people because of their size. If you come from the world of AirPods, for example, you're going to feel overwhelmed with this size, but it kind of comes with the turf. Another pro is the excellent overall imaging of these headphones. For the price tag, I mean, these can keep up with headphones costing many multiples more in price for the imaging quality that you get. But the con is, I think, the upper frequencies tend to be a little bright at times, so you may have to back down the treble or make some adjustments if you can on that. The ear cups are very comfortable on the ear. That's another pro. However, the con is, because of the thin material in here, I don't think they isolate the background noise out well. And that is one of the reasons you would get closed back headphones, especially if you're listening in a more of a noisy environment. And these really don't cut the mustard on that, in my opinion. They need to use a thicker, more dense material on these ear cups in order to do a better job isolating that sound. Now, the fit over the ear is pretty good. Again, you have these kind of memory foam ear pads on here, nice and thick, but still external sound sources got through. So to wrap this up, I think for the $200, this should definitely be on your short list to consider a pair of the HIFIMAN HE-R9 dynamic headphones. And that is my review of these. Bruce Naylor, your Boomer Consumer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.